Welcome back to Nick's Vids. In this video I will be doing the oil and filter on my Wr450. Okay, so first thing you have to do is remove your belly pan. Okay, you then need to get yourself some sort of container to store the oil. I've just run the bike for about 5 minutes, just let it idle, get up to temperature, and then let it cool down. That way the oil's thin enough to flow straight out of the engine. Once it's been idling for a few minutes, switch it off, let it cool down for another few minutes, and then you should be ready to drain the oil. Okay, so first thing you need to do is crack off this oil fill bolt. Okay, so there's two oil drain bolts on this bike. One of them is here, and the other one just there. So it doesn't matter which one you do first, but I always do this one first. It's a 13mm socket for it. Make sure you got your container in position before removing the bolt. So let that carry on draining. Then you need to get your 13mm again. Undo this bolt at the back here. You should be able to see it through there. And underneath. Again, be ready to catch the oil that comes out. Allow the two streams of oil to drain out for as long as they can. Get as much oil out as possible. Okay, so once most of the oil is drained out, you need to lift the bike up off of its kickstand, and you should see more oil start to drain out. Move the bike around till you can't get any more oil out of the engine, and then you should be ready to remove the filter first. When you remove the filter, you will expect a little bit of oil to be left in there, but it is on the side here next to the clutch casing, and it is Allen key bolts for me. Okay, remove your last bolt, and then remove your filter cover like that. And then remember which direction the filter goes in, because on the stock ones, they'll allow you to put them in backwards. Luckily mine doesn't, because it has a little notch for the filter to insert into. So get your new filter. You want the whole end facing outwards. Place the filter in the bike, like that. And then place the filter cover back over the top. Okay, so your longest bolt goes top right, the medium one down the bottom, and the shortest one top left. Okay, so once all your bolts are done up finger tight, just give them a little nip. Doesn't need to be a lot, because it's at the end of the day it's just a filter, and you're just seating those seals so it doesn't leak. That's it. Okay, so next thing you need to do is insert your drain plug back in. You do want to change the copper washer occasionally, but I don't do it every time because of how frequently you do these oil changes. And the worst case scenario, it will leak a little bit. But if you want to be extra precautious, please feel free to change it every time, because that at the end of the day is what you're meant to do. Just a little nip, nothing too much. Then again on the other side, just insert that drain bolt. Okay, so if I remember rightly, the amount of oil this bike takes is 1 litre of oil for a filter change and 0.95 litres of oil for just the oil change. You should always change the oil and the filter together, I think, so it'll always be 1 litre of oil. I use official Yamaha lube stuff, semi-synthetic 10W40 4-stroke oil, but if you want to use cheaper oil, or as long as it's the same 10W40 semi-synthetic, it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so carefully pour your oil into your engine. Once you've filled the engine with oil, place the oil filler cap back on, give it a nip. Okay, so now you should be free to turn the engine on and then check the oil through this dipstick. As long as there's oil on the dipstick, I'd be happy with it, because you shouldn't have overfilled it. As long as you can see oil on there, there should be plenty of oil in the engine. You can check using this oil pressure bolt, which is just there, just above your cam chain tightening. It's just there, and that you crack that off, and once you see oil seeping out, it confirms that your oil pump is working and everything like that. I don't bother because I've ridden this bike recently, so I know the oil pump's working because it hasn't seized on me instantly. But if you'd like to do that, the bolt is just above there, and just crack it off a little bit, turn the engine on for a minute. If oil doesn't seep out within a minute, turn it off, put more oil in it, or investigate the fault in your engine. Okay, so that's how you change your oil and filter on a WR450. Thanks for watching, see you later.